Peace and love, creatives. Back in November, I purchased these Arteza Everblend markers, and I also purchased 2 other packs besides these. I opened 2. I never got around to opening these because we all know that I have problems. Well, anyway, here we are. It's March, and we're opening these bad boys up. I'm going to swatch them, and then I'm going to sketch a piece and do a piece with this set. Okay, so let's get the swatching going. Okay, if this is your first time seeing me open up an Arteza, maybe I'll pin it up top or put it in the description of my first unboxing of these, but a different set. And I'll show you this one too, I mean, obviously. But they basically have a flap on them, magnetic. So it closes nice and snug. But it's also like, so when you open them, you can actually keep them in here as storage. This piece comes out too. So you can have them on your desk like so. Just sitting there like, hey, marker with me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to open them up. I'm going to swatch them like I said before, and then we're gonna make a piece like I said before. I said all this already. Let's just do it. So one thing I will say, I'm not like, I don't think all of this plastic is necessary, but there it is. Now, we have a couple of like nice browns, it seems, some good greens. We have a couple of cool colors here. Let's swatch them out and see what they truly are, and we'll go from there. I'm going to put this like this. Yes. Okay, and then I'll just slide them in every time. All right, so this has a bullet nib on top and a chisel nib on the other side. Okay, let's get to sketching. For this piece, I kind of wanted to go full illustration to see just how much I can do with the markers that I have. So I got some trees, and I put some trees in the background, some grass, and almost a full body, so that we can get a nice picture to see how these markers do. Now, with the sketching, I wanted to put the sketching process in there again and show you how I go about it. I am using a Col-Erase color pencil by Prismacolor, and it's erasable to mostly erasable, not completely, but it is erasable. And what that does for me is I can kind of like make my initial blocks of how I want my character to look, and then go in with a kneaded eraser and you know, lighten up the lines, take the lines I want, get rid of the lines I don't want, and continue until I actually have what I'm looking for, or what I think I'm looking for. In the beginning, though, I had her posing in a way, I did not use a reference, which I should have. It would have been much easier, but I had her standing in a position where it was just not, it didn't make sense. And it only occurred to me that it didn't make sense when I'm telling my son, can you just stand like this so I can see how it looks? And he looks like he is struggling to, number one, hold himself up, and number two, put himself in that position. On top of the fact that he was not very happy that I asked him to do it, but that's besides the point. So I ended up changing her leg and where her hand was, and I think for me, I think it made a nice difference. It did take a while to get there though, but that's the process of sketching. That's, you know, that's what it is. You can't delete, but you can erase, right? For the outfit that I had her wearing, kind of wanted to go with like a big sweater kind of, you know, feel, comfy, cozy sweater, and some kind of jean-ish type of pants, holding a basket, walking through, I don't know, not through the woods, but just, you know, like, you know, hitting some grass up, you know, not like, you know, oh my gosh. Anyway, so once I was done and happy with the sketch, I move on to coloring. Okay, let's get to using these markers. So the colors I decided to go for with her skin were BR37 for the full skin color, and for shading I decided to go with BR96, but I didn't keep it there. I end up going in with R24 for a little bit of blush and her lipstick and some highlights. For her eye color, I decided to go in with YG55. And the lining of the sweater, I believe, was BR23. And one of the colors that I used in her sweater is YR34. The other one is Y36. And for the entire sweater, I used Y28. Now, when I did her pants, I used a couple of blues. I used B34 to outline it, B37 to give it a little bit of shading, and B38 was what I used to color it completely. I was trying to cap the marker, and yeah, there was no capping it, not at all. So hold on to your caps and be careful. Make sure you don't lose them or put them on the wrong marker. That would really stink. So I put highlights on her face and just was letting the top marker coat dry. And I was going in with the grass now. And for the grass color, I honestly wanted to do YG18 and ended up doing YG55, which was a little darker than what I wanted it. But I think overall it came out okay. Oh, I didn't say her basket. For her basket, I ended up doing YR34 and BR23 for like the weaving part and the lines. Now for the grass lines, I went in with GO5, but I also went in with GO3. Now here I'm trying to figure out how to do my trees in the background because I wanted it to have like a fall kind of look to it. But you know, not so like, it didn't have to be perfect. I just wanted it to have the look. So I kind of decided what I wanted to do, and I just I kind of like scribbled in a circular motion what you see there with the YR34, and then I went on top of it with with R13 in a little bit of a scribbling motion, but less, so that it was kind of like sitting on top of the YR34. And then in like the little white spaces, I made branches to make it look like, you know, a tree. I wasn't going to put a tree on the other side, but then I was like, you know what? I kind of like the way it came out. Let's try it again. And for the most part, I liked it. It was good. And it balanced the picture out, I think, anyway. For the background, the sky, I'm using B59. And I decided to put a little cloud in there. Now I'm just doing a little bit more shading on her pants. And now I'm coloring her hair. At first I went in with CG05 and decided it was a little too dark. So then I moved to CG07. I liked that color a lot better. But I did use CG05 for like her strands, to make her strands. Then I went over it again with the CG07 to give the effect that you see. Then I did some shading in her sweater. And a little bit more shading in her hands and other places. Some birds to top it off. And then I went in with a black pencil to do like, you know, eyelashes, get her lines a little bit more standing out where I wanted them to. A couple of strands of hair with the black pencil. A little bit of Posca for highlights. And I was done. I signed to my name, took off the tape. And I really like the way this came out. I think she's adorable. What do you guys think? Okay, guys. Well, thank you for watching. I am so grateful for you. Peace and love. Until next time.